peritubular capillaries around the tubules. And so any of these capillaries in the cortex surround the tubules, so they are peritubular capillaries. Now we still see this is the arcuate artery because this is the medulla, this is the cortex. So going across there, we have the arcuate artery. This branch then would be that interlobular. Off of the interlobular, we branch to the afferent arteriole. Right, so these little branches that go to the red ball here, those are afferent arterioles. These little red circles, they are the glomerulus. Each of these is a glomerulus represented. And then branching out of the glomerulus would be the efferent arteriole. So if we zoom in to take a look at one of these corpuscles, that's what we see over here on this side. So this whole thing is a renal corpuscle. The outer wall would then be our capsule. The inner webbing that looks kind of like a little mop is our glomerulus. This vessel that has kind of the cracked dirt appearance on its outer walls is the afferent arteriole. The cracked dirt is supposed to represent the granular cells of the juxtaglomerular apparatus. All right. This other vessel right here is the efferent arteriole that's exiting out or pulling blood out of the glomerulus. Over here, this kind of weird shaped purple structure is meant to be the distal convoluted tubule. Why purple? I don't know. It's not very clear what it is, but I'm telling you it's the distal convoluted tubule, so remember that. So the cells surrounding the lumen of the distal convoluted tubule in this area are macula densa cells of the juxtaglomerular apparatus, telling us about salt concentrations at the tail end of our nephron. Okay? This structure here would be the first thing that accepts fluid from the glomerulus, so that would be our proximal convoluted tubule. Right, if I said, what's the fluid called in this region? You'd say filtrate. I said, what's the fluid called in this region? You would say tubular fluid. All right, so there's a variety of different questions that can come from this model. That's why there will be two. All right, this one this will be the bulk of our urinary system component of the test. Right. Additionally, I will have what I would consider to be a much easier urinary system station. It'll be a torso model or it'll be some sort of other model where you have to identify general structures of the urinary system. Kidney, ureter, urinary bladder, and then if we take this out, you can see the urethra. That's hopefully nice and easy points. The one thing that people tend to mix up on a fill-in-the-blank question is they'll mistakenly write urethra instead of ureter or ureter instead of urethra. They're pretty close together, so be sure you know the difference and you're able to write that down on the test, right? Because I can't accept one over the other. They're two different structures. And if you put urethra or something like that, then it's too ambiguous. I don't know what you meant. And since it's two different things, then that's wrong. So spelling is a little more particular between ureter and urethra than I typically am, just because I have to be, and I don't know what you're talking about if you blend them. Same thing with lobar and lobular, so be very careful when you're spelling those out. Otherwise, just like usual, spelling is relative. If I know what you're talking about, that's fine, and you know if it's way too far off. I mean, we'll use reasonable judgment. So, those are the urinary system components of the lab exam. There'll be 15 stations. I sent out an email that has all the stations listed, so you've got those. So I'll let you use the rest of the time to study. We'll also have the lab open